Hey everybody, we are going to do a quick tutorial on using Dropbox for our yearbook committee to post pictures by graduation year. This Dropbox account will be used with yearbook marketing, and we see many more people using iPads. And you know, at the end of the year, people say, what should I do with my pictures? Well, this is a solution. So to get to this account, I'm going to Dropbox.com, and I am going to sign in using Dropbox at lcstaff.org, and the password is lc Dropbox. I'm going to sign in, and I know I'm in our account here. We do have another, our first Dropbox account actually is getting full. People can still use that. We could clean that out, but this will specifically be for photos, and as I said, yearbook photos, marketing photos, and a place for you to store some images, not all of your images, but a select number. So you can see we have a folder in here for each graduation year, and then a notation for graduation year 2015. These are the 8th graders, 2016 7th graders, and so on. We have an athletics folder, and also at the bottom that you might not see, we have an LCM and an LCT folder. We may want to categorize some pictures by campus. So pretty simple process if I'm on a laptop to get my images into the folders. I have 3 images here. I can just click and drag, but one thing we want to point out is it's super helpful and really necessary for, especially for yearbook people, to have these images named appropriately, so that I know, you know, what is this an image of. So if I have this image on my desktop, I know that if I just select it, if I click on it once and tap my keyboard, it will pop up and it will give me just a little preview. So I know that that's 8th grade science. If I tap my spacebar again, that picture goes back. If I click once on the words here, it says picture 2. If I click once, it'll let me rename that. So if I say, better spell that correctly, IENCE, and I'm gonna just say, I don't know, February. I really don't have to give a date, but I'm just giving it a unique name. It ends in a .jpg, which is perfectly fine. This picture, I don't have a name. I'm gonna tap my keyboard. It'll give me an image. This looks like, Hawaii, so this has to be kindergarten. Tap my spacebar again, that goes back. If I click once on the words, once where it's blue, I can rename that. So K5 Hawaii. So if someone is looking for a picture of K5 in Hawaii, we have that. And I'm going to add a .jpg. You know, you can imagine that in the yearbook committee, I'll choose JPG. PNG is, or G is perfectly fine too. But yearbook committee is not going to want 5 pictures of K5 in their Hawaii unit. So we're going to want to help name that. I'll do it one more time. I need to know, what is that a picture of? I think I want to say 1st grade, could be wrong. Well, I'll do 2nd grade on that, and it's already ends in .jpg. That's what I want. Alright, so for this 8th grade picture, to get it into my 8th grade folder, pretty simple. I just drag that, and if I have my K5 picture here, Hawaii picture, I also can just drag and drop that in the K5 photo. If I click on that, let's just go back, click on the K5 image here, or folder, it will show me it's opening. It's loading a picture. There is just a little bit of a delay. Let's go to the 8th grade, and I've got images here in my 8th grade folder. I'm going to go back. If I click on Dropbox, it gives me that view again. I'm not sure why it didn't like adding K5 there. There was just a delay. So here's my Hawaii photo. So really simple. If I want to just click and drag images from my desktop, and if by chance I look at this and I didn't name it, if I select this picture, I can rename it here to something that might be more appropriate. Or also, if I happen to realize I got it in K5 but these kids are 1st grade or whatever, I can move them. We can just easily move photos around. I'm going to go back, and then if I look at 8th grade again, if I select this, so here this photo is not named, I can rename that, and I can say science. I believe that is science experiment. I always want to keep the .jpg. So I've got a couple of pictures of 8th graders doing science stuff. So really simple to organize, move, and start to get our images by graduation year. We will upgrade this account to a paid version, so if people start to see that it's we're getting full, we will update that to get more room. But then the issue comes up about, gosh, on my iPad, how the heck do I get it in to the this Dropbox folder? And here, let me just do this. I'm going to show you now on an iPad what that's going to look like. Okay, so now I'm looking at the app from my iPad, and of course I would just search for that. And as I was saying, we have a Dropbox account already, and if I tap on the settings button here, I can see that, yep, our original Dropbox account used this email. Really easy to just to log in and out of Dropbox accounts. So if I scroll down here on my settings tab, I see sign out of Dropbox. And that's super simple to just flip back and forth. Some people have personal Dropbox accounts. So again, I'm just signing in Dropbox at lcstaff.org and then LC Dropbox, and I'm just going to sign in. So here you're going to see the same orientation that I have for all the folders, and if I click on the 8th grade folder, I see those 3 images that I had. I'm going to click my back button, which gets me back to let's look in K5. Let's look for that Hawaii photo, and if I click on that, I can see what that photo is. Alright, so let's say I have another picture I want to add to that 8th grade folder, or really to any folder, and I was just taking pictures of 8th graders doing a science experiment, and I didn't click on the correct folder. Here's 8th grade, so I know I'm in the 8th grade folder, and I know I just took some pictures, additional pictures of this science experiment, and I want to add them. I have 3 little dots here that don't look like they are going to do anything, but this is the key. So I go to add files, and then it'll say, oh, do you want to add files from your camera roll? And you say, why, yes I do. There we go. And I click add files. This comes up. I'm going to tap photos, And then I can see all my albums. I'm going to choose my camera roll, however, and then I've got a bunch of pictures that I can just upload right there. So I've selected 4 images. I'm going to click upload here, and I can see those coming right in to my 8th grade folder in Dropbox. So I can kind of forget about that. I've shared photos, super helpful to navigate, and we can help the yearbook committee, help with marketing. So if Laura is looking for images, and you know you've got them on the on your iPad, we don't have to email anymore. Remember, we want to get away from email. So I've got these pictures in my 8th grade folder. However, remember the naming thing, and it's kind of tricky to rename them on an iPad. However, I do have options. If I slide this back and forth and I decide, oh, this photo I really don't want in there, I can send it to the trash, or I can email it from here. I can favorite it, and I can do, let's see, this lets me do different things with the photo, but for our purposes it might be most useful if I need to send that to the trash. But how do I rename that? I might have to flip back to my Dropbox account here, and this should have already synced. Yes, it did. So here again, if I realize I just added photos, but I should give people a heads up that this was, you know, Catholic Schools Week or whatever, if I click on the photo, I remember I get a renaming button. So if I say cool science experiment, or Catholic Schools Week, or October, you know, apple trip, I can give people a little bit more information, especially if we're looking for, you know, event kinds of things. So I think that should cover our bases for why we have a new Dropbox account, how to log in, you know, really how efficient we can be from our iPad, and we can get started on getting ourselves organized. So thanks for listening.